Alive now.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the live stream of the Don't Be Mad podcast, proud partners of the Up For Network. I'm your boy, Matthew, aka Lefty Lucky, and I'm joined here as always with...
Jamali.
And Jason.
Oh, man, it's been a bit of a hiatus. We haven't been here, but we're back. We're feeling good. It's hotter than a motherfucker in this bitch, so if I sweat, I apologize now.
It's been 2 weeks. It's not a hiatus.
Okay, it was sabbatical?
Yeah.
Let's call it sabbatical. So, guys, how was your week? How's the mental health? How's everything been?
Oh, man. Well, it's been a long 2 weeks. Pretty good, though. I'm waiting for summer to come.
I mean, I feel like it's here.
Oh, just for a few hours. Tomorrow it's going to be -5, snowing. I don't know. Some crazy shit. No sun for a whole day. Crazy weather, bro. But apart from that, it's been good, man, on the up and up.
Nice, nice. Love to hear it. Jason, how about you, man?
Good, man. Not much. I'm just dealing with a bad cough right now. Summer working, saving money to move out at the end of the year.
Nice, nice.
Should be hype.
Lemon, honey, put that in your tea. Whip that shit up.
A little bit of ginger.
A little bit of ginger always helps, too. That's
You
very,
do?
very true. That should work that throat out real nice, you know? Like, loosen it up a bit. No homo.
Pause, bro. What the fuck is wrong with you? Work your throat out. What?
As for myself, things have been good. Work has been hectic as hell lately just because nothing seems to work in the summer. I feel like wintertime we could go through it and things are working fine. The second it's like spring and summer hits, everything just falls apart. And then comes a freaking sauna in that bitch and it's just hell. It's fucking hell. But we move. And I'm good. So yeah.
Jamal, you look tired, man.
Oh, yeah, man. It's been a long 2 weeks, I told you guys.
I feel like this week in particular has been very long.
Yo, because the weather's fucking bipolar, bro.
What do you mean
Like,
bipolar?
Fuck the weather. Like I'm not
Yo,
even
the
talking
weather
weather-wise.
affects me personally.
Yeah.
Like, if it's consistent, I can live with it. But when I leave my house and I'm like, oh, it's a nice day. And then, like, halfway through the day, I need a fucking jacket.
Yeah.
And then in the evening, if I have a jacket, I'm sweating. Like, nah, bro, I'm not with it.
No, I feel it. Because, like, for me,
draining.
it's like, I found, like, when I was younger, I hated the cold and the warmth was everything. Now that I'm older, the cold is, like, my comfort zone and the heat is, like, ruining me because all I do is just sweat the second the second I wake up, I'm just sweating, you know? So, in the mornings, I'm perfect. It's like, you know, it's like maybe 18, 20, but it's like a bit chill from the night is still out there. And like sometimes I'll bring a hoodie just in case because you never know. But overall, it's just like the second it goes anywhere from 23 and up or like that humidity kicks, I'm just, boom, sweating the whole time, like dripping. It's insane, man. So uncomfortable.
Well, I mean, where do we start? A lot of shit happens in the last 2 weeks.
Well, I mean, we might as well.
Obvious. Go with the obvious.
Toronto, baby!
I wasn't going to go with that obvious.
No, that's the place to start.
No. All right, go with Toronto.
Oh, no, because you want to start off with AD going to fucking
No, not
Lakers?
even that. Not even that.
Look, there is nothing that's been more important than
There's
the
one thing.
Toronto Raptors winning the fucking chip.
I mean, I'm happy.
And allow me to be the first one to say congratulations because I didn't think you guys were going to do it. And I'm not one of those people who's putting a fucking asterisk next to their name because Katie wasn't there.
Oh, fuck out of here, bro.
Yeah, I know. The people that are doing that are pissing me off.
Well, if they're going to do that, they better put an asterisk next to the Warriors when Love and Kyrie wasn't there.
Thank you. I've been saying that a lot. I'm like,
So-
if we're going to have asterisk talk, let's really have fucking asterisk talk.
Yeah.
But congratulations to the Raptors. You know, like Kawhi.
They won fair and square. It's hard
Dude,
work.
They fucking killed it.
They clawed down to the ground for that shit.
They kill. And look, Kyle Lowry, he is somebody that I've called fat.
Body shaming?
I body shamed the fuck out of him, okay? I've called him fat. I've said he doesn't show up when it matters.
He's slow.
I've said in the playoffs, he's a hit or miss. He's slow,
Very slow.
not reliable, the whole nine. In a closeout game, in the finals, I have to give him his props. I'm eating my words. I'm eating a lot of crow right now. I have to do it.
Well, yeah, him and Van Vliet outplayed Steph Curry like no other
Van
day.
Vliet is
That's who.
Dude!
Him and Siakam are the two guys right
like,
now
the way
on the top.
Siakam?
The way Siakam not so much.
What?
Let me finish.
You bugging.
Not so much as Van Vliet, because in the finals, Van Vliet's minutes have been some of the best minutes used that we've seen of any of the players out there. To the point where I was like watching him play, I'm like, I would buy his jersey just because of this finals appearance alone. Just for that alone.
And just his beginning, right? Remember, he goes undrafted. Completely.
His whole come up.
You know, he just literally built his way to a roster.
And he shut down Steph Curry.
Shut him down. Yeah, he did.
Him and Lowry shut down Steph Curry, especially in that last game.
Well, Green, too, did a major fucking
Yeah,
number.
yeah, yeah.
on
Well,
him.
Green had to because
Green did good.
offensively he wasn't like he kind of. I don't know what happened in that Milwaukee series,
Right.
but coming into the finals, it just seemed like offense wasn't clicking for him. His jumpers weren't going off. Like even his inside game wasn't working. So the one thing we know from him he does well is the defense.
Oh, bro. you
So it's
shut
like,
him
yo,
down.
if your shots aren't dropping, get assists, get blocks, get steals. Like do that. Like shut people down. And at the very least, he was able to do that because his shots were not dropping at all.
But let's be real too. The Golden State didn't have any bench at all. They
That's
had
not my
no-
problem.
Everybody was dying.
No, I'm not saying it's a problem, but I'm just saying like Toronto's bench was deeper than whatever
Yeah.
Golden State ever had.
No, it really was. I mean, like when you're depending on Bogut to come in and give you those.
That's not arguable. That's not arguable because
No,
if we
no,
were
I-
to
I
argue,
think it's arguable.
No, not at all. Because
Not as an excuse, though.
Right, not as an excuse. Because Cleveland bench wasn't deep when they had a deep ass bench.
Yeah, but you just had LeBron going out there giving you 48 minutes a night.
He did. No, but I'm happy for them. I don't like Toronto as a city, but hey,
Look, I'm not happy about the Leafs fans that are also Raptors fans enjoying this victory. But as far as the Raptors go, it's well earned. And look, I look at it like this. You have a team that really went out of their way to shake up their franchise by trading away DeRozan and picking up Kyle Lowry and not Kyle Lowry, Kawhi Leonard.
Kawhi.
And it's like
Marc
a
Gasol.
lot of people had their doubts about it, but at the end of the day, it was like most of the doubts came because you had a guy who hadn't played for a full season coming off of an injury and nobody knew what his impact would actually be going forward because there was no litmus test to see where he was.
But the thing is, everyone knew Kawhi was going to be fine when he came back. That's the thing.
Exactly.
So gambling, it wasn't a gamble actually. to
Oh,
give up-
it's a
what's
gamble
his
you
face,
make every time.
To give up, what's his name? I forget. Oh, Jesus.
DeMar DeRozan.
DeMar
DeRozan. So it
DeRozan
wasn't
and
a
who's
gamble.
the other person that they
It
traded
was Danny
over?
Green.
No,
No, Danny Green came from the Spurs.
Oh, yeah,
Came
he
from the
you're
Spurs.
right.
It was
not transfer.
DeRozan and
Marc
one
Gasol.
other.
Marc
No.
Gasol.
No, Marc Gasol came from Grizzlies.
Grizzlies transfer.
I can't remember the other guy's name.
But it doesn't matter.
Fuck.
But it was DeMar and their pick, their
Yeah.
lottery pick this year,
Yeah.
and I think next year was
Yeah, I think
involved.
next year as well.
Yeah, so I just think personally, I feel bad for DeMar because he did put a lot of work in with this team. No, shake your head all you want.
I don't feel bad for him because I've been one of those people who's like I said, I've talked a lot of shit about Kyle Lowry. Equally, I've talked a lot of shit about DeMar DeRozan. I
Right.
just said these are two people who they are all-stars because of the circumstance of where they are. But you move them anywhere else, they are not the same person.
Right, but
Jamal-
remember a conversation last year with when LeBron really took care of them.
Yeah.
We
He
spoke,
put on a fadeaway shot clinic on them.
but remember the whole thing was experience, and getting a guy like Kawhi who's been to the finals
Who
twice.
shut down LeBron before.
Yeah, lost one and won one. So you bring in a guy like him. I think whether they had traded Larry or DeRozan, they could have potentially been in the same position.
The
I
second
think
they
that's
got
what
him.
they were lacking was the experience, and
But
they
you know
got
what?
it.
Sometimes you need to make that trade to get, because that one trade can make the difference. Remember, even letting go a player. Remember, you might know this for the Giants in football.
Right.
As soon as they got rid of Tiki Barber, Super Bowl, and it was because of attitude. I'm not saying Tiki Barber's bad. He's he
Great
is the
player,
greatest
yeah.
running back for the Giants.
Well, for sure.
He's the greatest running back for the Giants, and that's truth. As
Yeah.
much as people say that, but that's some of the parts you have to get rid of sometimes in order to advance. And with it was with Brandon Jacobs and who else did they won this? Ahmad Bradshaw, right?
Bradshaw. It wasn't
Yeah.
Jacob was still on.
Yeah, Jacob was
young.
still there.
He was young. He didn't.
there
I
for
think
the
he
first one.
played.
He was
Yeah.
there for the first
Yeah,
one.
he
no?
played.
He played.
Remember, they had 3 good running backs. Earth, Wind, and Fire used to call them.
That's true.
That's
But who
what
was
they
the
call
third
them.
one then? Anyways, but no, I'm just props to this. I'm happy for the city of Toronto having something to celebrate, especially in sports where it's been dominated primarily by American teams. They're the only Canadian team, so I'm happy for them. And people count them out.
Well, I 100% did. But then at one point, the way
They handled your Magics.
No, I'm even after that because look, at the end of the day, like I tell you guys all the time, I'm a fan of the sport first, the team second. You know, like at the end of the day, I want to see a very good finals.
We didn't have a good final.
What, you're saying this finals wasn't good?
I mean,
It was a lot more
I thought
entertaining.
it was
a lot
incredible.
more.
it was a lot more entertaining
more
than.
entertaining.
Especially like when I look at the NBA, they've come to a point in this sport where a lot of the things that keep us engaged with the NBA is not so much the games themselves, but what's happening with the athletes, social media wise or behind the scenes. That's a lot of the stuff that has
Yeah,
been
but a lot
carrying.
of injuries happen.
Granted.
Career changing because we don't know what happened with Thompson yet.
He'd be fine.
Looney's
ACL tear.
Looney's a young guy, and his whole
I think Looney had was it McKinney that was the collarbone or Looney?
the McKinney. But
McKinney
then
was the collarbone.
Looney has something to do with his upper body. I don't know what
Yeah,
it
it's
is.
probably a shoulder or
Yeah, so-
rotary cuff injury, but Clay was a tear in his ACL.
Ugh.
He'll be back. He'll be back in like 6 months.
Yeah. So it's like it a lot of injuries, but I mean at the end of the day too, I looked at it like you're looking at a Warriors team who have literally played the
5 straight.
maximum amount of games they can actually play within the last 5 years.
Yeah, 5 straight years.
If you're looking at, you go through the 82 and then you're constantly making it to the finals whether you're winning or not, your body is going to get strained even if you're bringing in people from other teams.
Oh, for sure.
The strain on your main guys
But their
because
core
they go through that.
remains so strong, right?
Yeah, and you look at KD going out. You look at Thompson going out. You look at guys like Cousins who was coming back from a major injury. Like there's just so many things that, and like I said, screw the asterisks. That happening to them was just a matter of the fact that it shows, one, it's very hard to three-peat. Two, when you play that many times to that extent, like you're literally going at the very least
And at the
6 to
pace they
7.
play,
At the pace.
yeah, they're very.
Your body
run
at a
and
certain
gun.
point will give out. Like it's just a matter of you're doing too much physicality to your body
wouldn't
for
even-
it to maintain.
But I wasn't even gonna say it's the pace that really done the Warriors in. It was more or less that it was freak accidents. So like the whole thing with Kevin Durant, no one touched him. He was just running back. People saying it's calf. No, he had an
No,
Achilles.
it was Achilles.
It was Achilles from the
It was
beginning.
100%. It was
Yeah.
Achilles the whole
Yeah.
way through.
And for Klay Thompson, it's just how he how he landed that was bad. But it's like these freak injuries that they were getting. It wasn't an injury like someone bumped into him and he hit the ground or something. Nah, it was just weird ass freak injuries.
Yeah,
that
but then
happened.
again, that comes down to the wear and tear because Kevin should have never been out there playing ball
yeah.
at all. He should have never
No,
played.
but I feel
Well,
like
yeah,
because the way they spoke
about.
about it, where they were like, especially when they said this, the injury he has, he can't injure it any more than it already is.
Right,
If it's the Achilles, which we know it was,
right.
that's 100% true because it was a tear that he was able to walk on, but the healing time for that injury is the exact amount of
But
time,
now
whether it's a tear or it's a rupture.
Right, but now it's ruptured. It was teared because
Yeah.
if you saw him in the shoot around in the first home game in Toronto, game 2. You saw him shoot around. He could have barely get off the ground, and I was like, "There's no way he's going to be able."
Because they
I thought the same thing.
Yeah.
I thought it was ridiculous for them to put him out there, but at the same time, if it was indeed his decision to be like,
It wasn't
I'm going
his.
out there,
It wasn't his.
well, I mean,
I think it was the pressure.
I look.
I think it was the pressure.
A
that
lot
made
of people
him
want to say
play.
that, but these athletes go out there to win.
Bro, Steve Kerr said clearly, I didn't clear him to play. We have doctors.
Yeah.
So clearly, if it was him who made that personal decision to play, they would have said Kevin wanted to play. Because that's a big shit. Like, he's out for a
No,
whole
Kevin
season.
himself said, I wanted to play.
Of course he's going to do that to save face.
But it's not even a matter of save face because you're looking at a guy who's on a contract year who technically at that point didn't owe the Golden State Warriors any more risk to
and
injury.
that's why he didn't play. And then now he's
He
probably
didn't
was
play
forced
until
to play.
that point, which is why I'm saying for him to go out there knowing these conditions are there where it's like you're up on a contract year, it's the matter of understanding that the doctors, for them to send him out or for them to keep him in, it changes nothing for them.
No, that's not what I'm saying to you. The thing about it, you also have to look at it from a contractual obligation perspective. I'm assuming that he chose not to play in game 1, game 2, game 3. You're down 3-1. There's only one team that ever came back from that. Right? So there's no reason for him. to go out there, much as start him, like at least make him come off the
I
bench.
thought that was dumb too.
Like come off the bench, and then you have him running like, bro, he played almost a whole first quarter.
Yeah.
Well, you see, the thing what they did wrong is that they had him start, first of all. They got him loose, heating up. Then after they brought him on the bench to cool down his ankle. So you're like cooling him down. You have to keep him, when you have an injury like that, you have to keep them warm all game.
Yeah,
Like,
because they
have to
put
keep
ice
playing.
on it.
They put ice on the Achilles.
Which
like,
made no
whoa.
sense.
Because it burns, bro. But
The thing is,
The heat loosens.
they
the
always tell you
muscle.
to keep your body loose, keep your body warm.
Right.
Like you warm up. You don't ice out.
yeah,
like
but
you don't ice down.
there's also a burning pain because it's attached to the bone. So wherever that initial tear was, I would assume it's on the bone area, like the lower
Yeah.
part, and not mid.
No, it's either
mid-tendon.
going to be really high or really low, depending. If
So,
it's Achilles,
I think it was that was causing. But anyways, it just fucked up that he's missing a year.
like he misses a year. We're still wondering if he's going to do a pickup on his option, get paid what 32 mil,
I would.
which most people are thinking he's going to do. Pick up his option, get paid 32 million, and get his surgery and everything on the Warriors' bill.
Oh hell yeah!
Which would be the one thing. But at the same time, a lot of people are speculating that rather than wasting his time with the 1 year and then essentially having teams kind of look at him as a risk factor, immediately try to get your 5-year Supermax deal.
Who's gonna give him that?
The
There's
Warriors
a
could
lot of
give him-
teams
the
that are
Warriors could
willing to
still
do
give
it.
to him.
Brooklyn's willing to do it. New York's willing to do it. The Warriors are actually willing to do it as well. There's a lot of teams that are willing to give him, like, because it's Kevin Durant. At the end of the day, even if he doesn't have the explosiveness
Right.
to attack the rim or anything,
His
he's
name alone
still,
gonna
not
fill the
that.
house.
He's
What?
still one of the best offensive shooters in the league. That alone is enough for you to be like, look, as long as he still has his shot, he's viable. And that's the biggest thing. Because, look, he's a guy that goes out there. We know he shoots at his apex around 10 feet. That's with lift. So what? He's going to lose 1.5 feet, 2 feet tops on his apex?
Right.
That's still a lot more
But
than
he's
people can jump.
also a big cutter. There's a lot more dimension to his game that is he gonna be the same? He's
No,
not
he
a,
won't.
Right.
He won't.
He's not
And-
a Klay Thompson that's a spot up shooter that, you know what I mean? Klay,
Look, there's only one athlete who's ever gotten this Achilles injury and came back and actually performed well. That's Brent Grimes, who played for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And the only reason that happened was because his wife told the doctor to keep him in his boot for 2 weeks longer than he was supposed to be in, so it really healed up nice.
Right.
Because he's a cornerback.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy.
And he had a full, flush career after getting an Achilles rupture, which is unheard of. He's the
Isn't
only
Grimes-
athlete that we've ever heard that happen to.
Isn't Grimes his wife is the one that beats him up or something
Miko.
like
Who does what?
that? Miko Grimes, isn't she the one that always beats him up or something like that?
No.
I thought it was with her. Is
No.
it Miami Dolphins?
You're probably
right?
thinking of Ocho Cinco's.
No, not
Texting.
No,
Ladoza.
Evelyn?
Not Evelyn Ladoza. No, not her.
No, not Miko.
No,
No,
Mika.
okay.
Mika was on. She was on a show though. She was on that Michael Vick show.
She has a few shows. I think she has a podcast as well.
Right. She has podcasting.
Yeah.
As well, yeah.
All right. So what do you guys want to do to wrap this topic up?
Well, basketball. We could wrap up with the top three. Picked last night. Zaire.
You guys got the
Amazing.
man you were
Zion,
meant to get.
dog. What's wrong with
Zion.
Zion.
Who
Zion.
cried?
I keep thinking of Dwayne Wade's son when I keep.
Who cried on when he got picked? And
All three of those guys cried.
yo, it was emotional, man.
RJ Barrett was the worst. I felt I
That's
was
your
like,
boy now, man. That's your boy.
Because I'm not a Knicks fan. I don't know why you guys keep thinking I'm a Knicks fan.
No New York Knicks fan's gonna say that they're a Knicks fan because they don't want to be associated.
Bro, it was.
with it.
You know what I found so powerful in that moment
What?
is him and the number 2 jab. What was his name again?
Ja Morant.
Jeremy Moran. You know, it's like they both their dad played at some level, and like they were both actually contributors to these kids actually growing up to play ball.
Yeah.
And the speculation of like black men never being there, black fathers being absent, I was like, yo, that's
Yeah,
dope
because
for TV.
there was a picture that came out where it was Zion and his dad, Ja Morant and his dad,
Well,
and,
stepfather.
stepfather, right,
Right.
RJ Barrett and his dad, like
Right.
all of them together.
Right.
And there's like a picture of like it's a picture of the fathers and sons together,
Right.
you know?
That's
and
pretty
it's like,
dope, man.
And this is like after the tears and everything, and just like the fact that, like we look back on when the NCAA season started, like Zion was like the number 3 prospect on Duke.
Right.
RJ Barrett was the man. So
yeah.
technically the Knicks, who were talking about getting the number 1 pick the whole year, should have been slated to get RJ Barrett. And look, he slipped to number 3 and RJ Barrett slipped to number 3. So you got what you essentially we're supposed to get.
The Knicks will find a way to mess it up somehow because
No,
they always do.
look, all I'm saying is the
Always do.
universe is very good at what it does, and you slipped to number 3. RJ Barrett slipped to number 3. You got the man you were supposed to get at the beginning of the season, as you guys
Hey, I'm just
prospected
saying,
it would happen.
It's the Knicks. It's
Boom.
The Knicks.
What do you think is the chance of the Pelican making playoffs this year?
I don't think they make playoffs this year, and the reason I feel that is because they shook up their team. You have a team right now that all their players are 24 years old or younger, so it's a very young, energetic core. This should be a year of just establishing the chemistry,
Right.
finding out what your basketball philosophy is,
Right.
and push that forward. The way Griffin in the press conference said straight up, we're not looking at Zion as the savior of this franchise.
Right.
You know, like he's 19 years old. He's a rookie coming into this league. We want to develop him. We want to make sure he understands how this team, how this system works.
Right.
And from there we grow. Best thing you can do. And
Absolutely.
granted, I don't think there's a better space for Zion to be than a small market team like the New Orleans Pelicans.
Nah, it's a terrible place to have.
No, and this is why.
It's a terrible place.
New Orleans is a football first state.
Yeah. we'll
It's
give you
the
that.
number 1 or number 2, depending on how you look at it, is LSU. And then right after that is the Saints.
Right.
So it's like it's football first, even
Right.
to the point where the New Orleans Pelicans were owned and run by the New Orleans Saints management team.
Right.
Like it made absolutely no sense.
Right.
Now they're in a place where you get the young star that is internationally known. He's coming in with a lot of skill, but we don't know his ceiling yet. Is he a 5? Is he a power forward? Is he a small forward? Like there's so many places you could slot this guy,
Right.
and you know he will give you immense talent, immense skill. He will be somebody that on this team will be remarkable. But he's in a place where, let's say he went to New York, the media is unforgiving. They don't give you a chance. If you
Right.
don't
But-
get it done immediately,
This is the
it's a waste. Like,
This
New
is-
Orleans is good for him.
yeah, but this is the thing. He played at Duke, so the media was on him every day. Like
Yeah, but he's
every
al- he
day.
also-
We can't compare Duke to New
New
York.
York, bro.
Let's
He,
call it- you're not comparing Duke to New York. You're comparing NCAA college to New York. And
yeah, but no,
Which
but
is
at
not
least
the same.
there's not the same. They're
the
protected
same.
in terms of college and
For
what
sure.
they're exposed to and shit like that.
for sure, I understand what you mean. But the thing is with him, I think he'll be used to the fame because we know he's coming in box office, so we know he's going to be the man, regardless of whatever team he goes on. So New Yorkers will give him a pass.
It's not only
That's
just
it.
that. I also feel for his own growth, he needs because he's been in North Carolina his whole life, right? That's where he was born, went to school,
Yeah.
high school and college. I think the perfect transition was the Pelicans, and I think they try to accommodate him as much as possible with bringing in a younger core and getting rid of AD. I think he's gonna fit well, and I mean his mom seems to be happy with that choice anyway.
He was mad though on the pre-draft when the lottery he wanted to get.
Yeah, but at that point,
So New
AD
York-
was still there.
Huh?
AD was still there. That trade didn't happen.
I'm sure. Yeah, but he wanted New York though. I'm sure he would have been like, okay, whatever.
I'm sure he probably talked to the Pelicans like, listen, if you don't want me to sit out, I'm gonna withdraw because he got an agent like what?
For who, AD or something?
No, Zion got an agent like what 3 days before the draft.
No, I think before that.
No, it wasn't. He I think I checked up until 7 days. He
because
was
that's because of the rules though.
no, but also too, if he didn't have an agent, he could have withdrew himself and sat out a year,
Oh, there was no way that was happening.
Nah, he wasn't gonna set out here,
bro.
Dude, I kept telling you there's too much money on the table for him to go back to college.
It wasn't about going back to college. He could have withdrew and played on the national teams.
Not happening.
It could have happened.
All right,
There's too much money on the
let's
table.
wrap up the basketball talk. Let's go on to the real topic.
What topic?
What's the real
What
topic?
are
What
you
I wanted
talking
to talk
about?
about all the time. The juice is loose.
OJ on Twitter.
Oh man, it's the best thing ever. It's Christmas come early. What do you guys think about OJ on Twitter?
I saw him on Twitter. I saw the few videos that he
man, those are
posted.
classics though.
I just look at it like, what exactly are we expecting from OJ?
Yo, when OJ in one of those videos says, well, now I can get back to, we hear a lot of people talking smack and stuff, so, we'll get even with that. Everyone was like, get even.
Yeah, he's got to pick his words very carefully. But apparently he already clapped back to one of like the fake OJ accounts that were out there and like put like knife emojis in the shit and everything. Like, personally, I just look at it like, okay, OJ, you're on Twitter. what's going to come out of this? Is another book coming out of this, or is there a book coming out of this? Are there live appearances coming
If
out?
I
Like,
did it too.
what
There's gonna be a
exactly?
show.
Especially like he does it on the 25-year anniversary of the Bronco chase happening. Like what is the correlation to you doing it now, and what are the expectations of it going forward? Are you essentially like he talks about how he wants to focus on sports, which is great, but I mean I haven't checked his account since like his initial couple days.
He was talking about fantasy football
Okay.
and stuff like that. Yeah.
Exactly,
He was
because
talking
like I said,
about
like the first few days it was open, he didn't talk about sports at all. Even though his very first video was like, "I'm gonna talk about sports." So I'm like, "All right, cool, let's talk
You follow him?
sports." I did
I follow
because I wanted to see some sports talk, but then all the videos were just like, "Oh, I'm not Khloe Kardashian's father." I'm like, "Oh, so you're just gonna do this TMZ
Yeah, he
shit?"
came
Like
out
I
straight
don't
up and
fucking
said
care
that.
about this.
Bro,
Yo, what do we, it's the juice, dog.
But like, if he's got some good fantasy football tips, I'm all here.
I mean, I'm sure you had them. You fucking cultivated them in prison.
Dude, relax.
They're crazy.
He only went to prison. Listen, he only went to prison for stealing back stuff that was stolen from him. That's all. He went back to steal stuff that was stolen from nothing
Which is
else.
insane.
Nothing else.
Whatever.
Well,
No
you know
murder.
the system, right?
No murder
A
charge.
black
nothing.
man can't
Yeah.
get off. We gonna get you
they had to get him.
somehow.
They had to get him for getting away. Because they.
You guys, I don't even know how. I saw the first video and I didn't see it on Twitter. I seen somebody posted or some shit,
Yeah.
and I was just like, bro, they're gonna make a fun of it. They'll make a just stay the fuck off.
That's my other thing. It's like,
I think somebody's coaching them. It sounds too. It sounds too.
No.
No, that's how OJ talks.
he's
That's how
not.
he talks.
He's not getting coached. Because remember, when he was at his height, he was like the spokesman for
I get it.
everything.
No, but I get it. But I'm just saying, I feel like in this new age, he's saying a lot of shit that is not necessary. I'm gonna out certain things and this and that in the first. I don't know. I just was not entertained. I was like, you know what? This is another black man being used to be ignorant or being like his ignorance is being praised. I'm just like, fucking, I'm not gonna watch this. I'm not gonna follow him either.
Hey, I'm saying, man, I love the juice.
How you like these type of stuff, but then you don't like certain
Well,
other stuff?
before you answer that, all I'm going to say is I have absolutely no problem with anybody taking control of their narrative. And for a very long time, OJ's narrative has been completely controlled by outside forces. So for him to now jump into the social media sphere and decide, look, I'm going to be the narrator of my story, whether he's telling the truth or not, I feel like good for you. Do that. This is your life. There's so many people trying to dictate and tell the story of your life when there's so many outlets for you as a person to just come out and be like, no, this is not true. This is fact. This is not how this went down. Like, be the controlling narrator of your life.
Javai, I'll tell you why I like the juice. Great running back. All the Naked Gun movies he was in, his parts were the most hilarious. Hands down, you can't say that. And OJ in himself, he's just a character. Regardless of whatever you think or not from him being a murderer or not,
I don't think you did it.
I mean,
allegedly.
think.
But it's when it's the entertainment he did after. So when he says he's gonna look for the real killers, he's on a golf course looking for the real killers. I was like,
While wearing a glove.
Do you know that there was times that he used to go to his dead wife's grave and yell at her? He used to do that.
Because he did that shit.
Allegedly. But he's a Jew still. But my thing with OJ being on Twitter is that he has so much entertainment that it's hard. It's like, okay, he's a piece of shit, but I have to listen to what he says.
How you
It's
call him a
hilarious.
piece of shit? Like,
I mean, I
what
don't
do you
have
know?
to listen to him.
I don't have to.
I don't go out of my way to like. The only reason I
it's
saw
funny.
this is because
It's
like
funny.
in my group chat people posted them, so I was like, all right, let me watch them.
So what if he came on and he was talking some sensible shit, some woke shit? Would you guys be as entertained as to follow him and see what he's
Well,
about?
yeah.
I'll watch his
course.
video. Look,
Okay.
I'm not saying I don't give a fuck. Like I said, I'm happy to see that he's at a point where he's willing to take control of his narrative.
We don't know that.
Well, based on the videos he's put out, that's what he wants to do. Plus, talk about fantasy football.
Which he hasn't spoken to about.
Well, I mean, technically the season hasn't started
He
yet.
started.
So
He was talking about Patrick Mahomes and
yeah, like I look at it
everything
as,
like that.
like I said, I'm not going to go out of my way to pay attention to everything he does on Twitter, but I'm interested to see what his angle is. if it's just going to be a gimmick situation where he's just coming out, because like I said, he does it on the 25th anniversary of the Bronco chase. That's weird to me.
Maybe it's a coincidence.
It's not. That's not a coincidence. That's not a
Do
coincidence.
you know,
Maybe
do you
it
know
is.
when he was released from prison that they had the new version of the Bronco that came out the same day he was released from prison?
It's not a coincidence.
And
So then, and you think if it's not a coincidence, it must be a gimmick then.
Well, no, I'm saying like I said, I'm not going to go out of my way to follow everything he does, but I will pay attention.
The stupidities.
No, just
Or
to see
the
if he's
entertaining parts.
actually going to do the things he says he wants to do. Control
that-
your narrative, talk fantasy football, keep it at that. But if you start doing things where it's like, oh, I have a live appearance to like talk about my shit, then I'm like, all right, I get it. I get what you're doing. I get why you waited for the 25th anniversary of the Bronco chase to make a Twitter account and post videos. I get it.
Okay.
But if he does what he says he wants to do, which is okay, you right now you control your narrative, the things that are like the biggest things talked about you address them, and then boom, now it's just straight up fantasy football. I'll rock with you.
it's the juice,
That's
man.
simple.
It's the juice. All right, I'm gonna wrap up OJ.
Yeah.
So I see here on the next topic here.
Yeah, what do you want to jump on next?
Jump
on it.
because this was interesting to me. The whole thing, and I saw this with Christina. The whole thing with Bella Thorne and
Oh, yeah.
Whoopi Goldberg.
Yeah, well, essentially, for people who don't know the story, Bella Thorne was approached by a hacker, blackmailed by a hacker that he or she would release her nudes to the public if, money wasn't exchanged and all that shit. So she was just like, fuck that, I'll just release them myself. So, I mean, take control, take power back in your own hands. But then Whoopi on The View was basically saying how, as a celebrity, you shouldn't take nudes. Like you got to understand, like, once you put something out there, it's out there for everyone, and it could come back to haunt you type of
Right.
shit. And you can't trust the clouds. And
Right.
I mean, I didn't watch the whole thing shit, but essentially that was the gist of it.
Right.
And I mean, I look at it as, who hasn't taken nudes, man? Like, I can't tell somebody to not take nudes, whether they're a celebrity or not. I mean, like, sometimes, even for myself, like, I told you guys I've been going back to the gym.
Oh, you be taking nudes now.
Not necessarily nudes, but I mean, I got pictures of myself where, like, I took a picture where I'm in my underwear just because, like, progress.
Oh,
Progress
like
reports. This month, like, March 2019 compared to June 2019, like, seeing the difference. And, I mean, I'm not sending them out to anyone, but if, like, my iCloud for some strange reason got hacked, well, guess what? Now you have me standing in front of the mirror in my underwear. Like,
I completely agree with Whoopi, and I think the girl when she released the video after saying, "Oh, Whoopi, it was wrong for her to do that." Whoopi was just saying that you're a star, you can do whatever you want, but the thing is, when you post stuff on social media into the cloud, know that there's a chance it can get hacked.
yeah,
But don't be angry it gets hacked after.
yeah.
And she was making it, and she was kind of playing the victim card, saying like she was more angry at Whoopi for what Whoopi said than the actual hacker who hacked her nude pictures.
Well, my whole thing on this is very simple. You can take your nude pictures, but don't save it to the cloud. If someone's going to really want to hack your fucking joint, they're going to hack your phone or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But also, too, like, Whoopi also is from a complete different era.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't
That's
think
another
Whoopi's
thing.
taking
Completely different
nude
generation.
at this point in time.
Completely
and I
different
wouldn't advise
generation.
her to. But if she is, man, do her thing. But personally, I also think it's stupid because when you look at our generation, or not just our, but the younger generation, a lot of people do dumb shit. Like, I don't understand dudes who send dick pics, bro. I don't understand women who send nude shit, boyfriend or not. Like, fuck out of here. Like, at some point,
Whoa.
it is.
Whoa,
No,
whoa,
I'm being, be real here.
I am being real.
Okay, but you're looking at it from your own
Calm down.
personal gains and whatever, bro.
Yeah.
I'm talking from a sensible perspective for an individual, right? I think whoever you are, even that guy, the politician in the States, in Canada, who had to retire because some grinder picture, some shit I was reading, got leaked or whatever. He was being also blackmailed. Like, you got to be careful what you put out there. And I don't think we should hold celebrities and politicians to standards we don't hold regular folks to. Like, at the end of the day, like, I guess it's a thing to do in our generation. Take nudes and send them or have them on your phone or whatever the
Dude,
case may be.
Do you know the struggle how it was to get just pictures of girls off MSN?
It wasn't that hard.
It wasn't hard. I have my hard drive at home. I don't know about you, but it wasn't. I got videos of people I can leak right now.
Going on Black Planet or MySpace and picking up pictures, it doesn't count, though.
Bro, I got
telling you,
video. No, I got
actually
video.
sending stuff.
I got videos
The webcam
that I
is a
could
beautiful
leak
thing.
right now that would cause a havoc.
Whoa, relax.
But I won't do that. But
Keep
I'm
it
just
in
saying,
the vault, my brother.
Oh, it in the vault. I'm
Keep
just
it in the
saying,
vault.
it wasn't hard back then. MSN, especially when the webcam option. Oh, bro, I got stories for days. I'm not gonna talk about it. But
I can neither confirm nor deny the MSN webcam situation. All I can say
Those
is,
days.
teen years were great. But with all that, one thing I always tell either friends, people I know, or just in when this conversation comes up in general, don't send, and like outside of like the cloud, just don't send anything that you're afraid will be released. I've never sent a nude that I felt would bother me if it became public. And that's just a reality of it. Because I understand it's like, as much as I'm putting my trust in that person, that my naked body is going to stay in your phone, you're not going to release it to anyone, you're not going to send it to anyone. At the same time, I can't 100% trust you to the point that you're not going to do that. So anything I send, I'm sending it with that voice in the back of my head. Like, if it gets released, it gets released.
Bro, you're Matthew Riviera from
But
Montreal.
that's what I'm saying for me.
A nobody.
I'm saying that for me.
I get it, but
and
when you're
not
talking,
even a nobody, because look, there's 14-year-old kids that are nobodies who have been taking nudes and then they commit suicide.
Right. But that's
they get sent out.
That's a different story. But in terms of celebrities and like people like politicians, they're losing careers. They're like the guy from Canada had to retire. You know, her should probably lose a lot of endorsement money, whatever she was having, or
But that's her
probably
own fault.
Or she'll gain a few.
But that's her own fault because she released her own pictures. So if she's getting backlash,
Well,
it's
and
her
that's
own
the thing
fault.
for her. And going back to the topic at hand, what I love and respect about what she did was she didn't look at this as now I got to pay this guy off or now I got to fight him. It was like, no, you think my naked body is something that you can use against me? I'm proud of my naked body, so here, have it.
I'd let him release it. Fuck out of here.
How does Bella Thorne look? She looks good, right?
We're not going to search for the nudes.
No, I'm not searching for news. I'm just saying in terms of
Matthew got it on his phone already.
No, I'm talking in terms of
Whoa,
like
I
You
don't-
saved
I
those
don't-
pictures?
I don't.
like how does she look in? Because I don't.
No, she's a
I know her
beautiful
face,
woman.
but I
Do you
don't-
want to know?
She's a
you
beautiful
got a
woman.
phone, though.
What I'm saying is
Quick
that
Google search,
there's a
man. She's a
difference-
beautiful woman.
There's a difference between Bella Thorne getting nudes and Precious. There's a difference.
Wow.
Hey,
What? Wow.
do you know how many people out there want Precious nudes?
I know, bro. It's a big trend nowadays.
Look, I know a few people that they won't
Personally?
even look
I don't know
at a
anybody,
woman
but I know
unless
I've
she
seen
is at
shit
least
online.
250 pounds, and that's at 5'4".
And they like what is that shit called? That feeding? They get aroused by feeding
Oh,
people food or whatever.
When bigger women eat.
Yeah, whatever. That
I don't know what
bullshit
it's called, but no, that's like legit.
That's a
Like,
legit shit, bro.
the same way there are men out there that like women that are in the gym or curvy women. There
Yeah.
are guys that are out there that love a big, thick woman with
No,
rolls, man.
I'm not saying anything like that.
They get cold in the wintertime, bro.
All I'm saying is that people would have a different reaction.
I never bat a chubby
People would
tender, you
have a
feel me?
different reaction if Precious decided to release her news as compared to Bella Thorne. That's all I'm saying.
And
That's
she
all
has
I'm
a
saying.
name. Her name's not Precious, bro. I forgot her name, but her name's not Precious, bro. Be respectful.
Gabrielle something.
Yeah.
It sounds big. That's
Gabby
all-
something.
Gabri.
It sound
What? It sound big.
Gabby Sebede or something.
Sebede, yeah. She plays an amazing role on Empire.
Yo, she was amazing.
I don't watch that show, so I don't know. All right.
But like I said, man,
Her name sounds big.
for every woman there is a man that is lusting, and then there are men that are loving. It is what it is, man.
Yeah.
All right. You have another topic here with I have no idea what this with PK Subban.
He's a Toronto Maple Leaf.
You got traded?
PK Subban is a Toronto Maple Leaf.
Oh, that's crazy.
Oh, well. Hometown hero now.
I got his jersey hung up in my room.
So what?
I got to root against him, man. I was happy when he was in Nashville.
You can root for him. I mean, you have a multiple.
No, because rooting for him will mean rooting for the Leafs' success. And
Bro, the Leafs' success doesn't mean that Montreal's going to fail.
okay,
Montreal's gonna fail. Montreal has failed.
you see what that. We're gonna see him 4 times.
So what? can you be happy for him and his family?
I am happy that he is happy. I am not happy that he is happy on the Toronto Maple Leafs.
It's not like Montreal treated him like a fucking king anyway, bro.
The people did.
The people did, but the organization didn't.
Yeah.
Fuck out of here. Let him be happy where he's gonna be.
Sorry, it's still.
Bro, you
still
sound
a
like
bad
you're
taste.
choking on something else, bro. Pause.
Where is your mind right now?
I'll get into this.
Jamali is disgusting.
Man, no, I miss PK.
I do too.
I would have wished he would have come back to Montreal.
No, I don't want him
does
in
need
that.
a defenseman, so I don't know why.
No, he shouldn't even do it.
As much as I would love him to come back with the team we have right now, it's not a good fit.
What team?
He should have
Dude.
come back to an organization that didn't value him in the beginning. Fuck out of here.
That's true.
Yeah, it's just it wouldn't be a good fit, man. It wouldn't be a good fit. As much as I love the guy,
All right.
it wouldn't be a good fit.
So this thing here you have. I don't know Port of Miami too, or what's going on.
Is it out?
with it.
It's supposed to come out next week.
My
Or at
God.
least that's the rumors. That's the rumors. But I think he put out a single. I was checking for it before, but it wasn't on Spotify.
But we
so-
didn't even get to discuss that the Khaled release.
What, him bitching about not being number one?
No, fuck out of here. I'm talking about the music that he put out. I don't care
The
about
album
his
wasn't that
Billboard.
great.
What?
Nah. I did not.
There are at least like 4 joints on that was dope.
Yeah, out of what, 12?
I don't know about the rest of them, but
That's my point. The album was.
but how many albums do you get right now that you get 4 fucking solid joints out of?
The person he was complaining about, Tyler the Creator, put out a phenomenal album. Plus, Flying Lotus, the week before, put out an incredible album. Who else had albums that come out? Dude, Tyga had a great album that came out the same weekend as Khaled, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't listen to Tyga.
I usually don't, but I was like, you know what? Let me give it a spin. That shit is summertime
Well,
music.
it's summertime, but I
that
think
thing was slapping.
no, Khaled had some dope records on his album. that
Not
I vibe
enough.
with. Maybe not enough
For the
but-
amount of hype he puts around his stuff, for the amount of artists he has on it, for the anticipation he creates for his album.
I just think he
was
follows
disappointing.
the same what do you call that? The same recipe every time.
Yeah, and it's
he
getting
gets a
old.
dope beat. He throw a bunch of artists on it that never would normally collaborate, and then he puts it out.
And like you would think when you see those like mixtures together, you know, like it can work out well, but I just feel like sometimes it's a bit of a stretch.
But you got to give it to Higher. Higher was a dope ass record.
I
Like,
mean,
The best record
dude,
on the
Nipsey
fucking album.
and look, you put John Legend with anyone, it's gonna work.
Bro, you know Khaled Never Surrender. That record, you heard Never
Yeah.
Surrender. Like all his records that come out with that like solid message,
Put the fucking soul in it.
bro, kills it.
But that's the thing. If Khaled gave me a full album like that, where it's just like, it's very much
Dumb.
like there's a message to be told in these songs. If he did that, he would have one of the best fucking albums to ever come out. But the thing is, like, he reaches for the reggae song. He reaches for the R&B song. He reaches for the posse cut rap song. Like, there's too much reaching for each pocket that can be hype. And then because you're trying to be a jack of all trades,
A master of none.
exactly.
Like,
That's the problem with DJ
one-
Khaled.
Anayat in the chat saying that 412 wasn't a good album.
Who's
He
412?
What is it?
No, he's saying 4 out of 12 is
4
not
out
a
of
good
12.
album.
Sorry, 4 out of 12 is not a good album.
Oh.
And when you have tracks on your album,
I'm not saying it's a good album, but I mean a lot of bodies of work that have been released on a general scale within the last 2 years.
yeah.
You don't get a full, a full album of like bangers or just shit you could vibe to. Actually, I lie. Jim Jones, El Capo.
Woo! That was the other one I
Bro,
forgot.
El Capo was
Amazing.
Whew.
Amazing. Bro,
That was a dope ass album. I take that
Jim
back.
Jones is the best member of Dipset.
He has always been.
Okay,
Dunzo.
okay.
Always
okay,
been.
Let's stop it.
That album?
What do you mean? Let's stop it,
Fire,
Jim
bro.
Jones not the best member.
Yes, he is.
What?
No, it's official.
bro?
It's official.
There's
I'm
not
sorry.
even a question about it.
It's official.
There's not a
The
question
same way
about it.
Styles P is officially the best member of the Locks.
I can't
Jim
go
Jones is
that
the-
far.
Well, we're gonna have to
I
argue
can't go
that.
that
No,
far.
we can.
We can't.
We can.
You cannot argue that Styles P is the best.
He is.
Bro, you nuts.
He is.
It's like a close. If
Styles P is nice, but
Yo, Styles P is the
Jadakiss-
best.
He's
Jadakiss
bad, though.
is on
Yo,
another level.
Jadakiss wishes.
No, but like
Styles P been giving us album after album, and all of them been fire, bro.
all his mixtapes are fire though. Still,
Dog, his latest one, SP, the GOAT. Yo, I need to take a walk. Like, fuck, what?
Nah. But
What?
I think Jadakiss is coming out with a body of work too.
He better.
I mean, Sheik Luke.
Yo, he's seen what Styles is doing. He better come out with some work.
Yeah, but that album him and Fabulous came out with was every
And
track.
what was that, 2
every
years
track-
ago?
Yeah,
no,
but every
more
track
than
was
2 years.
It was about 2 years.
It was either 2016 or 2017.
2016, bro.
No, I give it 2017.
Let me
I'm
check
sure.
it quick.
Whatever the case
I think
is,
it's 2017.
that album was
Jason
fire.
versus
Jason
no,
versus Freddie. Friday, Elm Street.
Yeah, Jason versus Freddie.
yeah,
2017.
2017, but early 2017.
Yeah, yeah.
Either way,
early.
2017.
Yeah.
2
But
years ago.
that album was every track on that was ridiculous.
Oh, I'm not saying it wasn't. But Styles P has been putting out body after body after
Yeah, but
body
Styles
of work,
P's-
and that shit has been fire every
But
fucking
Styles
time.
P has always had a dope ass pen. Like he's also very. They're both.
His cadence.
I mean, to this day, the Gangster and the Gentleman is one of my favorite
Yeah.
album of all time. Like,
Fucking good, man.
like that.
Fucking good.
He's pretty dope.
No, I fucking love Styles P, man.
I don't know, Jada is Jada though, but Jada's nice. I gotta if Styles P's better than Jada, it's not by much. And I think it comes
No,
down to
and don't get
taste.
me wrong. I'm not saying Jada's like it's miles apart. No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying like the way I look at Jim Jones as the best member of Dipset
But
right now.
Jim
is the way I
Jones
look at
compared
Styles
to no,
P.
you can't compare that because Jim Jones, out of all the members of Dipset, has continuously with each body of work
Elevated.
grown and elevated. Like Styles P and they just go back and forth. Jim Jones right now over Cameron
Oh my
is
God,
is really close. Like it's like because where Cameron, first of all, Cameron was out way before Jimmy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Jewel is in jail right now, but Jewel hasn't really come out with good bodies of work either. Yo, Wasted Talent was an amazing.
I can give you Jim Jones being better than Jewel's right now on Dipset, but I can't put him over Cameron. Never,
hell
can
yeah.
Never, can never put him
I
over
mean,
Cameron.
you have bias because he's your favorite.
Oh,
no, it has
hell
nothing
yeah.
to do with it. It's,
But okay, but right now, what is Cameron doing right now actively? Jim Jones is like actively bringing out
Cameron was
records.
here, was it like 3 weeks ago?
Fuck out of here, that doesn't count. I'm talking about putting out body. He was rapping shit from 04.
Yeah, it was his old stuff.
Like, but I'm talking about like real shit. Like Jim Jones put together 2 solid product.
But you have to understand what Jim Jones is that, like you said, Cam been out years before
And Cam's a rapper,
Jim Jones.
right? Jim Jones was the muscle, and then one day he got on a few records, and then it was big on mixtape, and then it's like now like he put out 2 consistent. Even before that, from Ballin', he just went straight up. He hasn't released a whack body of work thus far. And El Capo, like that New York record, NYC with Fat
Yeah.
Joe.
That was the one that I was
Dumb.
like, that was the first track I heard from the album. I was like,
Him
oh
and-
shit, like these motherfuckers is rapping on this shit.
Him and fucking Fab, because you know they had beef, right?
Yeah.
They had beef because of the whole love and hip hop shit.
Now they're
But then
they're adults,
Fab
man.
killed it. Then he had that record, those
And look, Cameron's got a couple.
bangers on that too.
Because what he's on three tracks.
Three records. Yeah, Cameron killed his verses.
Cameron killed his verses on it, but it's like Jim is just because what I liked about this was it's once again an older rapper not trying to be young.
Young, exactly.
He's like, no, I'm an older rapper. I'm going to talk about where I am right now, plus the shit I've seen, plus my evolution. And you got Jim Jones just basically saying, look, like I'm an older man now, like I'm a family man now, but at the same time,
Don't
I'll
fuck
pull
with
that
me.
blicky out.
They said United said that in the chat that till 50 Cent troll Jimmy. I don't know what 50 Cent did with Jim Jones.
Yeah, but the whole workout shit because Jimmy's coming out with a workout
A workout tape?
video, and
Yeah.
50's been on that shit too. So
Yeah.
and they was talking shit, but I think it's like a funny thing
I'm
between
sure it's
them.
friendly now. Yeah. Now it's back in the day. Would
Oh, 50 didn't want Jimmy to slap off his kufi.
But yeah, outside of those guys, the only other thing I've been listening to is Crash Talk by Schoolboy Q.
No, I didn't even listen to none of that.
Which Schoolboy Q, out of all the people in TDE, he's always been my favorite one.
I
man.
haven't.
I haven't heard anything from Schoolboy Q in a long time.
Yeah, man. Yo, check out his latest album, man. It's actually pretty good.
All right.
It's nice.
So,
I've been on my UK
It's
shit,
on that
bro.
groovy shit.
Mo Stack released a dope ass album. That Storm. You heard the Shine record with him and Stormzy?
Nah, I didn't hear you.
Stupid nice.
all right. So let's go to the last topic here with save the worst for last.
What?
Well, not the worst topic, but the worst person for last. Trump.
What
He
about
almost-
Trump?
He almost started
Called
a
off
war.
the drone strike minutes before it was supposed to happen. You hear
Drone
about that this
strike
morning?
on where?
They were supposed to.
Iran.
Apparently, there was a drone strike
We're gonna hit
planned
no
on
fucking
Iran.
Iran.
Well,
Yes, it was.
no,
it
there was a
pretty close.
scheduled drone strike on Iran this morning that he called off minutes before it happened.
Bro,
He ordered it, then after he backed off.
Yeah. But all I'm saying is,
That's so
we
weird.
are in a position right now where there might be a war to start sooner than
I
later.
need to start planning my trip to Nunavut. Fuck
Dude,
out of here.
meet me in Iceland.
I'm not.
Okay.
Yo, you what?
Meet me in
Trump better
Iceland.
go fuck himself. If you want to fight, go send his sons out there. I'm not. The fuck out of here. What are you gonna go? He's gonna go out there to do what, bro? Gonna go start a war for no reason?
Fight over dirt and sand.
No, I mean, like, I understand, like, these people are crazy, but, like, these guys are not threatening nobody. Like, you just want to do what, bro?
Well, what happened was it all stems from last week, or I think the week before, where there was an oil tanker that I think Iran put mines on or something like that,
Yeah,
and
something like
it
that.
blew up. It blew up an oil tanker.
Or they allege Iran. did.
allegedly. It could.
Yeah,
been
well,
someone else.
he could have been anybody.
People say it's pirates and all that stuff. Well, I don't believe that.
Yo, Trump is a bluffer, bro. He used to talk shit to Kim Jong-un, bro. And Kim Jong-un told him, like, yo,
I told you he didn't want that smoke.
he don't want to smoke either with Iran. He's stupid.
Anybody who treats their own people like shit, you don't want smoke with them.
Yeah, but imagine that stupid person is the one with the nuclear codes. Is like, oh,
Bro,
geez.
Trump has fucking nuclear
So I'm
codes.
talking about Trump. I'm talking
Okay,
about
I thought you were talking about Iran.
No.
But
I'm
no,
not
but
talking
the
about Iran, I'm talking about
Trump is smart enough to know this guy is killing his own people. We don't want that smoke, okay? Like, fuck that shit.
I think honestly, Trump is just, he's a person, he's big with the entertaining shit. He likes to do shit to create, you know, just put himself out there,
He likes
good
to be
or
liked.
bad. He likes the lights. He likes the camera.
Yeah.
I just think it's stupid for him to even do that. There's a lot of innocent lives that's going to be lost. And not only just a lot of life, a lot of American people is going to feel bad because a lot of the Iranian people, when they left, they came to North America.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The
No,
thing is-
it's fucked, bro.
the
So
thing
to
is
go
right
think
now-
of like striking somebody down, bro, like you're stupid.
The thing is right now is that people have family everywhere. So it's you can't really like start wars with people like now. Like let's say if US wanted to start war with Iran. There's like thousands, hundreds of thousands of Iranians living in the US.
Oh, for sure.
There's hundreds
Yeah.
of thousands of like Russians living in the US, millions in fact. And so forth and so forth. So you can't back in the day you could bomb people because no one's coming to the US. They're like, oh, this is a different country. They're not coming here anyways.
Bro.
But now it's so integrated and so diverse. It's like when you start a war with different countries now, you have to be very careful not to get the backlash at home.
And I agree with you on that, but at the same time, don't be surprised if, because the strike was stopped, something else doesn't come of it because it's been made public. You know, if it was something that just happened quietly and it was never mentioned, then it's like, all right, it's another day, essentially. But the fact that this strike, maybe it's an intimidation thing.
Yeah, I think it is.
I think even if it's more him just prospering and just like
Right.
puffing his chest,
Right.
but just the simple fact that it was mentioned, and you look at Iran, it's like the biggest issue they have is what, their nuclear program?
Yeah.
And that's why you're going to go through all these situations where you're talking about, oh, there was a threat to your country, but I stopped it minutes before it happened. Like, what you're doing is literally playing with fire
But they've
with a
been
country
doing that.
who hasn't, like, Iran hasn't really gone
But
out of
they've
their way
been
to say
doing
they
that
want to
since
do
fucking
anything.
2001, bro.
And that's the problem.
Well, you know, they have weapon of mass destruction in Iraq. I'm still waiting for them. You know what
We're
I mean?
all still waiting for them.
Like, come on, like,
But
leave the people them alone.
I
and-
look at it as it's one of those things where people need to pay attention to it because you're not going to put this out there unless there's a motive behind it.
Well, for sure.
If there was a strike that was supposed to happen and then minutes before it happened, you decided not to do it, the smartest thing after that is not
keep it
let the
shut.
public know.
Yeah, keep it shut down.
You
Well,
telling the public
it's-
there's a reason behind that.
It's a game. It's all a game of wealth right now. So essentially, is that the richer countries or like U.S., Canada, it's all resources game eventually. So they want money, they want resources, they want oil especially. So, and the thing is, there's so much in abundance of it. It's like, why waste our own resources when we could take yours? And that's how the world is working right now. And you can see it now with social media and everything. You actually get a kind of glimpse in seeing. Oh, we used to hear about this stuff on the radio or on TV all the time, and now we can actually see people on scene with their camera phone. You see, oh, these people are actually jacking oil. So it's like
Yeah.
you can actually see, but it's all.
Bro, we see a lot of
it's too
shit,
much.
bro. We see a lot of shit every day with camera phone. Ain't shit gonna change. We see how many incident we done see with black folks getting police bad mishandling their shit,
That is
and
true.
nothing changed. Like, I mean, if Trump want to fight a war, he should fight a war with the boys in blue over there. That's the war that he should be fighting to protect his people. They're the real threat to the American population, if you want me to be honest.
Yep.
We all know, but
So
good luck with that.
Yeah, like, it's stupid.
All right, so that was it on Trump. Well, that's the last topic.
Any final thoughts, guys?
Not really, bro. To me, it is what it is. I just think people just need to learn to speak their problems out. You know what I mean? It's not about showing who has the bigger muscle, because somebody always has something bigger than what you have.
Yeah, like a
at
nuclear
some
weapon.
point. What?
Like a nuclear weapon.
No, it's not just a nuclear weapon. Like, people could collapse you differently. You know what I mean? It's not just about money. People could fuck with you differently. So, threatening somebody's life, like, let's say there's a person in America that's comfortable, that's chilling, and then, he probably has his family back home and he hears that. He can go AWOL and do something stupid.
Yeah.
And then innocent people get hurt.
That's what I was saying, that you have to be very careful in what you do in different countries now, because people from those countries are coming to your country.
The war you
and
start
they're
out there.
integrated and everything. Like I forget where the city is, but they have a huge Muslim community. I think it's close to Connecticut or somewhere. I can't remember exactly.
Right.
But it's like, this is why, and these are people who have money. Like,
Yeah, but I mean,
have
you
money.
look at the Iranian
And influence.
population is flooded in Beverly Hills. They have a lot of money in Cali, bro.
There you go.
So
you
to have them people
so you
pull
gotta
money
be-
and move,
You
bro.
gotta be careful who you pick and choose to like start fights with and everything like that, because it'll come back to bite your ass hard. Especially, why you think he doesn't go really too hard against like Russia or China and stuff like that?
Because niggas don't play.
Because they
There you
own
go.
half the country.
They don't play. Putin will put his ass on a map.
China
bro.
owns like the U.S. debt, and Russia. Putin could just like send in some like spike people's drinks and just all die and drop it to the ground. You never know.
Yo,
true.
Putin's gangster, bro. I'll never forget the one quote I seen. Like, there's this woman who wrote something negative about him, and then they found her in the elevator, shot. You know what I mean? And then he was like, she shouldn't have been in the elevator by herself.
That's just gangster.
That's some gangster shit.
That's pure gangster.
You know what I mean? Like, but on some real, like, that to me is just like, we need to, as humanity, we need to learn to be respectful and talk shit out, bro. We don't have to get to weapons, and innocent people don't have to die for you to prove a point. Like, it's stupid.
Like, you're
Rich,
preaching to the
man.
choir right now, man. I'm with you on that.
All right, man. So let's wrap this episode
Yeah,
up.
man. So, everybody on the live stream, thank you so much for tuning in and
Yep, we
giving us your
appreciate it.
feedback, as well as anybody who is listening on the podcast or the YouTube. Thank you guys for tuning in. You know how you can reach us as always. We're on Facebook, Don't Be Mad Podcast, on Twitter and Instagram, Don't Be Mad Pod. All over, just hit us up. We always respond. We're good like that. Jamali, Jason, myself, thank you all for listening.
We out.
Tune in next week for another episode of Don't Be Mad Podcast.
Love
Take
is
care,
love.
folks. Peace.